hello, hi everyone, hello. Get all the waves. Hello. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? Hope you're having a great start to your week. What is it, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I'm feeling a lot better this week than I was last week, so I'm hoping I will last longer. Last longer this time. So I'm back to the same box that I was working on last time. Hello, Spooks! Hello, hello, hello! Now, before we get into this, though, I owe you some skink time. I owe you skink time. Fine, let's find some skink time for you. Let's open up with some skink. Gotta find those things. Oh, it's underneath. Pop those two around. Skink cam should be on top of all things. There we go. This is the most important camera. This one's quite fun because it's just a wiggle. He's under there. He's under there wiggling. I think he's very soon to shed, so he's been pretty quiet lately. He did pop out for a little bit of feeding. Some arm cam. That was his. He ate all his food and looked disappointed, so I gave him a second dose of feeding. Let me find him at the start of this motion. Oh, there's just a little head. Surveying, having a look at what's left of his food. He already ate most of it. Thinking. Like, am I hungry? He has such a skeptical little face sometimes. What's his name? I breached my skink's privacy. He has a skink with two names, actually. His vet misheard the name. So he has a going out name, which is very charming. And his going out name is Clive. So that's pretty sweet. Sounds like you should wear a little tie. Num num. He's got some blue buffet today. He loves a bit of blue buffet. Delicious. But yeah, he ate his food and then he looked like he was still hungry afterwards. He looked really disappointed. So I gave him a second serving. Because he can eat more than once a day. It's fine. You can have a little bit more. But he went to bed. He went to bed immediately after he finished. There's nothing else for me to look forward to today. Time to sleep. I thought he started shedding this morning. His head looked like he started shedding, but that seems to not be the case. I wanted to hurry up and shed because he's been looking like he's going to shed. He's a bit grey and a bit grumpy. So he seems like he's going to shed soon. And I've got all stuff to renew his whole tank, so to clean out all his substrate, get him new substrate, got new cork, new hides, got lots of new stuff for him. But I wanted to shed first, because I don't want to put him in a nice clean new everything and then him immediately fill it with old scales. Just need to get him to hurry up. I'm able to help him. If he gets stuck bits, but he's actually really fast at shedding. He's usually done in a day. I give him just extra water. I make sure he's good and humid in here. Yeah, but he's getting pretty good at it. I surprised him with it. Exactly, he'd have earned it. But he's got a good technique. He'll find a spot and he'll just do his loops around it. So he's recently picked up coming through this area. But for a while he would just go into his cork and just do loops in here to use all the rough surfaces to rub off all the scales. Oh, he's killing it. Showed that leaf who's boss. I love when he picks up a leaf and starts just shaking it. Champion. Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on his toes whenever he sheds. He's never had any issues. He's pretty good at getting all his shed off. But if they are gonna have issues, it's that the shed gets stuck around their toes and it cuts off their circulation and they lose toes. It's a very common thing if you get a skink that hasn't been treated super well, is that they tend to not have all their toes. They don't really care. They carry on with their life. They don't feel it or anything. So it's, yeah, it's super common. He has all his toes. To make sure. But he also likes to put his hands in the water, so I guess he keeps them good and wet. He's very good at putting his hands in the water. Keeps them clean, washes them. Solar skinks. Yeah, I see some pictures sometimes, and like when they're wild as well, sometimes they get the same issues. They can have like no toes and just carry on. I mean, these legs are very unimportant. They just slither mostly. But I do like I like to hold my skink's hand. I know it's pretty explicit, but I do like to hold his little hand. The skinks have different scales on their hands, so their little hands are like softer than the rest of them. They have like really small scales on their hands, and so it's very cute to hold his hand. I hold it whenever I can. What else were you doing? Did you do anything else, or do you just eat and then look kind of sad? This is why I gave him like a second helping. Look how disappointed he looks that he's finished his food. He can't get that bit. It's dry. Yeah, keep on top of his skincare. Keep him moisturised. It's very important. Keep your scales moisturised. You can't get that bit. It's stuck. Oh no. That was the bit he wanted. He didn't care for the rest of the leaves. He's got the good tongue flicks on as well. I saw him. He looked like he's doing extra tongue flicks today. Yeah. Better look at the camera. Sometimes I look over at his tank and he's just like here or something, and he's just looking directly into the camera. Like, I don't know if it makes like a noise that he can hear or something, or whether he's like looking at the light, like no light that comes on sometimes when he moves. But sometimes he's like having a proper little stare out with it, and it's like, what do you know? What do you know in there? Oh, he looks offended. He knows everything. Think of much knowledge, except for what cutlery is, and that it's not going to hurt him. He's very scared of cutlery. Very scared. He'll be fine until you like crinkle a crisp packet or accidentally clang a fork in his presence, and then he has to flee. He has to run. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why I don't know who tried to eat him. But then like, you could be like hoovering right outside his tank, not a care in the world. You get a crisp. Oh, evil. Love the licks. The licks are great. He does have a particularly blue tongue, which I'm very happy about. Because you get a lot of like blue tongue skinks, so like they have a blue like tongue tip, but the like start of their tongue is still pink. And I'm glad he's an all blue tongue. Like me, we match. Stop being sad about your food. I'm sorry I didn't get to you in like 3 minutes to refill your food. You got like a whole new bowl literally 10 minutes after this. But you didn't get up to eat any. You just sulked for like 5 minutes. But yeah, you can see like he's more grey than normal. His colours are usually a bit more vibrant than this. Off he goes, slithering away. See, legs unnecessary. He just flattens them out and off he goes. Oh, still a bit of tail. He's a hungry boy. Not that hungry as it turns out. Not hungry enough to eat the second portion. Alright. I think we've caught up on skink camp. That's good. I like skink camp. That's how I wake up in the mornings. He's normally up before me, so I wake up and I lay in bed and I look at the ring cam and see what he's been up to. Found that. Love that. Good. Glad to hear it. Give that a wiggle, sort out all the threads so they don't look so messy. Alright. Where are we at? So I remember what I did last time was we filled in this slightly angular looking area of satin stitch. And then we did these two orange flowers as well. We did two orange flowers slightly differently. So this one was satin stitch. We're like starting each stitch near where the last one came up. And then this one was all from the same like edge. So these ones all started on the outside. Hello, lyrics. and I think I prefer this one. See, can I get it into better focus? Yeah. You can see that. Yeah, I think this one looks nicer than this one. So I might use that as my new satin stitch. The only problem is that it produces more stuff on the back. So that's the version that I've been doing before, as recommended by the little guidebook. That was a loud car. Or motorbike, I guess. And this is the one where it all comes from the outside, so it kind of repeats itself on the back. So it makes more stuff on the back, but I think it looks nicer. Looks a breeze. So I can show you the bits that... So it's got a pattern printed on it already, so I've done like the middles of these blue flowers. They're French knots, so they're like 3D. You see them stick out. But the actual blue parts, so these part here are all printed, and the text. But then from here onwards, it's the actual stitches that I've done. It's coming out a bit, so super bit. Hey, Togetic! So it's a lot of satin stitch, but there's some French knots, there's some stem stitch, there's some long and short stitching, there's some gone wrong French knots, there's some lazy daisies. Lazy daisies are pretty cool. I did the first one like upside down, like the first petal, then I worked it out. I get the good focus. Ah, there we go. I'm sort of taming the focus. But yeah, this French knot went wrong. These ones went really angular. But I wasn't very well when I did those ones, so I'm going to blame that. So, we should move on to, I guess, the blue flowers. Which look a little bit tricky, because they have the dark blue in the middle. So I'll probably try a long and short stitch on that, even though they're very small. I'm not sure how that's going to look. So let me grab my... we'll start with the dark blue and then put the light blue around it. We've got our base Rebels copyright-free, royalty-free, lo-fi tunes. Hopefully you're enjoying those. Spotify. Where is this one? Where does it start? There we go. Detach. I need to get my one thread out of this. This is several, so I just smash the top of it to separate them out. Not sure if there's a real technique to it. This is always how I've done it. Find one of the like 6 threads and then carefully pull it through so it doesn't knot itself. Now I've got short thread that you can barely see. And then I double it up to make it thicker. Make it the thickness of 2. And to make my anchor point easier, because I'm bad at anchoring. And see if I can thread it at a distance. Oh, it would help if I had the right side of my needle. I've got to challenge myself, see if I can do it. I did! No, did I? Yes, I did! They are both through. I thought I had like half it through. Hey! Yeah, threaded. Okay. So, I'm going to start down here, I guess. Doesn't really matter where. Just try and get in close to the middle. Pull through, take it as far as I want to. And come back in through the back. I do my anchor. So I pull through. I've got my needle through the loop that I've made. Oh. Now my starting point is anchored. Good music, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I quite like these base Rebels. It's nice to be able to like use Spotify instead of like hunting down other royalty-free stuff, which tends to be what's the word? Subscriptions. I already have a Spotify subscription, so it's much easier. I'm starting all my stitches from the middle to learn what I learned from my satin stitch, because long and short stitching is like satin stitch, just not as even. What I've learned from this, with all the different like stitches, is that there's no rules. Just stick a stitch wherever you want. It'll probably look fine. Visualize. Put in like a slightly shorter one next to it. It's weird because it's like a small area. You very can't properly see what I'm doing, but it's quite small and far away. Try to get it closer. We gotta have a compromise. Close enough to me that I can see it. Close enough to you that you can see it. But mostly we're chilling. It's pretty chill to have the pattern printed on. I've said that before, I'm not used to working with the things that have the like ready done patterns already on them. I usually do like counted stuff, where you start with like a blank thing. And it's like the instructions. Make whatever you're making, so normally it's cross stitch for me. But yeah, it's nice to have the guide. Make sure I've got no tangles. There we go. But it also feels weird because in a way it's like, well, it's already got the picture. Like my job's done. It is very satisfying when you start with like a blank thing. Oh, I didn't do that one the same as the others. It's true because I do really like craft kits. It's nice to like know you have all the stuff that you're going to need for whatever you're trying to make. Sometimes you're just like scrounging around for like, do I actually have enough of this, or do I have enough of that? This bit, what's that? It's this white bit that's come up. Let's find where that's come from. Where have you come from, little white bit? Aha, you're part of the edge. I think I just pulled you out. Yes, this is where the edge was fraying a little bit. I got it caught. Got it caught on my needle. Brought it towards my face to see if I'd missed any bits. I don't really think so, so I'm just gonna hop to the next bit. It looks a bit messy right now, but once I add the light blue and fill in all the gaps, I think it will look fine. And if it doesn't, I'll just add stitches until it looks fine. That's the secret. I don't really think I need to long and short stitch it as much as I have been. I think I could probably just put in one stitch in like every direction it goes, because it's so small, like this area that I'm doing now. I don't really think it needs more than one stitch. There we go. Gonna get it up near the center. What else am I streaming this week? So on Thursday I'm doing Darkest Dungeon 2. Because I like that game, even if it makes my computer cry. Hopefully it comes out on PS5 soon. Because that would be a lot easier for me to stream. If I could stream on PS5 instead of having my computer run the actual game. Already done that one? Yeah, that's where I started. Then at the weekend, I've got my Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses, which I started last week. So I was having a good time with, and now I have a better idea of the fusions. after a little bit of Googling, so I should do better next time. I got some new flavours of Gamer Sups lately. I had the urge to get some Gamer Sups. And the new flavours I got, they're like some of the less descriptive flavours. They don't really say what they're flavoured like in the titles. But they are delicious. And deceptive. They do not look like the flavours that they are. It's like one that's like a creamy white. But it's flavoured like refreshers. Which I wasn't expecting. It's normally like a blue or a pink. Or a blue and a pink. It is hard for you trying to get into it. Oh yeah, struggle understanding the fusion. Yeah, so I played a lot of like the Yu-Gi-Oh card game when it was less complicated. When back in the original season days, original series, I guess. There's a lot of news. I had all go at Master Duel, but there was like a lot of stuff that was new and scary. So I ran away. Yeah, it's like the link summoning is like everything can just be like special summoned at some point. Like it's weird. I don't know what's up with that. I like the old Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but the Duelist of the Roses is like the old Yu-Gi-Oh games where they had their own thing going on. So like in like Forbidden Memories, in like the PS1 game, it just makes up its own array of fusions, and you don't need a polymerization for it. You just you just go. you just smash some cards together and see if by some magic they fuse together into something. You know, in the card game it's always like, oh, you need this X card and Y card and a polymerization, and that's how you fuse. In these games it's like, have you got like something with a rock attribute and a female card art? You have those two things? Those two things can make a thing. But only if it's a lady and stuff like that. Like, it's very, very fascinating fusions. They really made their own rules. Yeah, that's just too confusing. Yeah, my friend and I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards all the time. So much fun. Yeah, there's so much stuff now. Nightmare Troubadour was on the DS. That's peak Yu-Gi-Oh gaming for me. Not counting like wild spin-offs. I do love those. Like Duelist of the Roses, which just isn't the base game at all. It's like a board game. It's like a tactics style board game. There's what's it called? The GameCube one that I can't remember the name of. That one's like an RTS. There's the GBA one, Destiny Board Traveler. That one's like another like board game one. So good. I played so much of that one. Like, yeah, the spin-offs are wild. They just slapped that Yu-Gi-Oh IP on whatever they had going. It worked for me. Oh, and what's it called? Capsule Monster Coliseum. That one's fun too. That's another just like tactics game, basically. That's where the real fun's had. On Yu-Gi-Oh games that don't use dual monsters. I mean, in the anime, like, they don't follow the rules either. They don't know them. That's why Season 0 is the best. They play their own games. They only play, like, dual monsters a couple of times. They play all sorts of games in that one. They play D&D in that one. Make it easier. Oh, you're as a kid, you're into it. Yes, that probably would help. Get the base knowledge in there. But I never watched like GX or 5Ds or Zixel or any of those. I just watched the original OG. And then like, because that story is just like finished. Like it was all rounded off. Perfect. But I guess, you know, there's good money in those cards, so they couldn't just end it on on a completed note. They needed to make more cards. But in order to make more cards without just completely power creeping, I suppose they needed new techniques, new strategies, new ways to summon things. We're giving him from the sides instead of like from the middles, but I think it's working. There's like those big blue flowers next to the ones I'm working on. I can use the lazy daisies for, which are pretty fun. I liked those. I have to remember how to do them. I was unfamiliar with that technique. I'm unfamiliar with most of these techniques. I used to know how to do the French knots pretty well, but I'd forgotten. And long and short stitching I'd done before, because I'd made a like I'd bought a really cheap like vest top, and then I sewed on like a little garden to the bottom of it with a long and short stitch bee. That was fun. I learned a lot of stitches doing that. But because I'm not very good at like anchoring my stitches, I'm scared to wear it because like so the stitches tend to like pop out a little bit. Like I have a another like plain top that I put a geometric unicorn on in with cross stitch, and that one also has the issue of like none of the stitches are anchored very well, so I'll like look down and just see like a little loose thread end where something's come away. I'm just like ah. I'm practicing my Guitar Man off camera, getting ready for when I can bring that back. Guitar Man's always gonna come back. Just once you don't have to watch me play Magic King B on repeat for like 10 hours. Once I have a chance. I'm getting better though, I'm getting closer. Still not there though. It's a hard level. It's a hard game. It's interesting how like, so games now are like a lot bigger. Like there's a lot more to them, so they're not as hard, I think. Because they can just like make you buy more game if you really like it, and then you can have even more game. But I think like on older consoles, I guess games hadn't really taken off as much. Teams weren't so big, I suppose, and I think it was like a money saving thing on like really old consoles like Ataris and stuff, where because of like the memory and the budgets and stuff, like the games all had to be super short. So in order to like make it memorable or to get like a lot of gameplay out of it, they'd just make it super hard. So that like, so if you knew what you were doing, the game could be like 2 hours, if that maybe. But it would just be like so darn difficult. I got light blue now. I feel a lot now, I think. But like even PS2 games feel a lot harder, like in general. Then I guess it depends what games you're playing. But there's also a lot more just like hard as nails games now. Because people like that. You know, there's other super hard rhythm games and stuff, especially once you get up to higher difficulties. But just in general, I feel like games on PlayStation were a little bit more difficult than games nowadays. Kinky old. I just played some G1 Jockey. I keep talking about that game. That game was so much fun. Maybe it's just like games were less like open. Like everything's a lot more open now, like open world and stuff. You can just like do a lot more like varied things. The things don't need to be so hard because that's not what you're doing. I miss when Sims had campaign modes. That was... I loved having Sims games on console because they would always have the Get a Life mode where you had a campaign. But they don't do that anymore. I think even on console they don't have a campaign now. It's very sad. It was like the best part of Sims. I was shocked when I played the PC version and there was no campaign. It was just all sandbox. Well, that's not what I'm here for. Not big into sandbox games. I like to have an objective. I also like colony builds, so it's a hard life. Let's go build my light blue stitches around my dark blue stitches. And hopefully it will look good. And have them all come from the outside. Go in. Hopefully you'll be able to see both colours and not just one of them. Maybe I should have done the dark blue second. Just stuck it like on top of the light blue. Live and learn. But yeah, jockey games are super fun. But they, I don't think, have really made it out of PlayStation. Like, PlayStation 2. I don't see any of them in more recent gaming. I had a few different kinds of jockey games. I want to do like a, I'm thinking when I hit 300 followers, I want to try and do like a big long stream where I play like some G1 Jockey and Doshin the Giant. I think that would be a good one, because I don't know how long the runs are of that. It's like a game you do like it has a campaign over a set amount of time. Like in-game time. I don't know what that translates to in real-world time. That could be if I want to, like a few runs of. But that's a really cool game. Maybe there are less like unique games now? Maybe that's what I'm missing? Games found the formula that people liked and won't veer. I guess why would you veer if it's working? But you know. AAA companies, make a jockey game. Appease me. Specifically me. No one else is asking you for this. Just me. Jockey games. Yeah, it's fun, like, discovering new games as well, like, just having a look in, like, the game shop and like looking at the back to games and trying to work out which ones you wanted. That was always good. So sometimes I got it horribly wrong what the game was about. BioShock is the best one for that. I really wanted BioShock because I read the back of it and it sounded great. Now, I didn't realise it was a horror game. I thought it was a game about having a drill for a hand, because that's what the back looks like. I thought it was about like terraforming. I thought I was going to like shape the world. No, it's not about terraforming, as it turns out. Not all about that, and I was very scared at Christmas after playing it for a bit in the dark on my own as a child. Kind of looks like a star, like the flower I've done with the light. I definitely think I should have done it like the other way around. Like done the light first, then put the dark blue on top. I don't know. Let's carry on and see what happens to the next ones. Maybe I'm going like too much around the dark blue. Maybe it's fine if I go into it a little bit. Need to untwist my thread. I also don't want to cover up the dark blue. I want to look like a little bit more textured and less just like one than the other. Oh, got another bit of the like spray. Got caught and came through. Can I find that? Yeah, it's there. There's a couple bits of the frayed edge that have gone stuck. There we go. We'll go through. Maybe cut off this bit of a frayed edge that's trying to get into the work. Get trimmed. My super sharp embroidery scissors. I was reminded of how sharp the embroidery scissors were quite recently, where I was using them to cut back my plants in my room, and I jostled my arm slightly while I was preparing them because I'm not the best at things, and accidentally like poked myself with the tip of my very sharp scissors. And they went straight under the skin. They just went, and I was like, oh, that feels weird. But it was okay. It was only the tips of the scissors, so I was okay. Didn't even bleed. It was just a very odd feeling that I wasn't expecting. I was more worried that I would just get like some plant under my skin and like become a triffid. I didn't. I'm not a triffid, still just a skink. Though, no, there's still time. It's still healed fine, but I've got like a weird lump on my arm now. Where it was. Very small lump. I guess it's still healing off the last of it. Unfortunately, not a good like a visible lump either. Can't show lump. I'm a bit of a slow healer for things. It's always annoying when you have like a really minor injury and it's like, why just will this never heal? What is this? Like, I have one scratch in my hand that seems to have just decided it's a scar now, where I was like past a box and I held it wrong, and it cut my arm, cut my hand, and I thought like nothing of it at the time. So, oh, whoops, held the box wrong. But it just won't heal. It just won't go away. It's very small now, but it's still there. It's that one, if you can see the mark at the end of my needle. You can't see it very well. It's very faded, but it's still there. And I won't forgive it. I get all sorts of scratches all over my arms now because of the skink. He has very sharp claws, very small, very sharp claws. So if I get him out and he walks around my arms, those arms are all cut up. It's worth it though. It's worth it for to hold a skink. Worth the pain. I have positioned a hoodie near the skink now. For handling hoodie. Particularly, he likes to hang out on the shoulder every so often, and just sort of like walk around, try and get into my hair and things. So I come away with an awful lot of scratches all around my shoulders and stuff. So I think the hoodie will protect me a bit from all that. So he does it in a really funny way. You sort of like, you'll hold him and then like hold him up like a little bit to your body, and he'll get the message. He'll be like, alright, it's shoulder time. But he will just like climb up your front and make a beeline for your jugular. Like, you have to trust. If you're not a big fan of lizards, you'd really just have to trust. Just let it happen. Let him go for the jugular. He won't really. He will veer and he will get on your shoulder. Every so often I'm just like, okay, off you go, buddy. One day someone's gonna panic when you do that. I warn everyone. But I like it. I like his little travels up. It's making the effort. Gotta climb a whole body to get up on that shoulder, you know? I'm not sure I did any dark blue on this one. I'm convinced. Oh no, I see a little bit there. A tough bit. I think I went through the French knot a bit, but that's fine. I think I tied up the French knot by going through it. Have I done this bit? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, the pattern with like the other problem with having the pattern already printed on is like sometimes it's hard to tell where you've already been. Putting a few extra stitches in this one. I think it's looking nice as a result. I do get lazy sometimes where it's like, I know a lot of stitches will probably make it look good, but I will do 3. There we go, that one's looking alright. A little bit messy in places. I more like my like doing the stems and stuff. Like over here, I was really happy with how this area came out. I need more of that. These areas are kind of now a bit messy. And of course my French knot, we don't even talk about that. Oh yeah, that's a light blue flower as well. I need to go back and do that one. Otherwise I'll forget. It's already coloured in. This is a very chill song. I was kind of appreciating for a minute. I was like, yeah. Oh, I think I went back through the French knot. You can feel the resistance as soon as you hit where you've already put something like that. Where it's all 3D and stuff. It's also very easy for me to pull this close to my face and away from the camera. My natural position for doing this sort of sewing would be having it like really close to my face. It's very hard to resist. Maybe it's why some of my older areas that I've done off camera look a bit better. Looked closer while I was doing it. Ah. Put my hand on my thread. Put it through. Ah. Oh no, what's happened? What have I done? I've got one half of it threaded. Disaster. Try again, but better. But do it right instead of wrong. There we go. Got it that time. I got an alright technique for rethreading. Or just for threading in general, I think. So it is much easier with a needle threader. Needle threaders are pretty great. They look weird. They look like some sort of coin with like a little metal loop on the end. But they're super handy. I feel like on some of these ones I'm just covering up the dark blue that I've already done. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that will like mingle. The colours will mingle. They don't. They don't blend. Not what this is. Yeah, maybe I should lay my colours all in a different order. Could have put the loops there, the middle's on at the end even, instead of first. I think I was as excited to do some French knots, I quite like doing them. Oh. Stretch the back. Very easy just to hunch over at a strange angle and bonk my camera. to try and keep my back straighter. No prawning, no prawning. I'm a skink, not a prawn. Definitely has covered up that blue part. The dark blue bit. Then if I don't cover it up, it doesn't... It just looks like a star. Don't know what to do for the best. I could always add more dark blue if I wanted to. Oh, there you go. That made that bit look better. Worked. That's fine. My thread met resistance like sooner than I expected it to, so I had to make sure it hadn't knotted itself up at the back. Sometimes that happens. The thread has a mind of its own. That went off at a bit of a weirder angle than I thought it would. What can I do about that? Come back to it, that's what I can do about that. Probably start a new piece of thread soon. I mean, I've got more than enough. This kit came with like so much thread. Way more than I need. Of like every colour. Just so much. Which is good. I'd definitely rather it come with too much than not enough. Then if you make a mistake and you have to sacrifice some thread, you can't like get it back. That you can't unpick it like neatly enough to salvage the thread, then it's yeah, very nice to have extra. I'm just gonna have to sort of cover up this part to save it. There we go. Oh, that one looks alright. Actually, you can still see the dark blue in this one. Yeah, that one looks alright. Alright, let's, yeah, I'm gonna start a new piece of thread. Am I? Yeah, yeah. No need to be stingy. Get both those knots in the same spot? Yes. I had to make like a doubly big knot, so I put two knots like in the same place to try and anchor my thread. Because as I've already expressed, I'm not great at anchoring. Often with like my cross stitch and stuff, instead of tying a knot in the back and having like these tails, and instead just like cut the tails off really long and then sew the next like few stitches around it to like anchor it in instead. That's my cross stitch go-to. Another method as well where I can like make a loop and sort of like replicate what I do at the start of my thread. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I did any cross stitch. I'm being very good at not putting my needle in my mouth. That's always my step one. I get out the needle straight in the mouth while I work out my other stuff. It is a good way to keep track of it, but then sometimes I put it in my mouth and like while I'm doing something else, I guess I'll just lose focus and like drop it out of my mouth. But then once I like come back, you know, once I remember that I had something in my mouth, I'm like, oh god, did I swallow it? Every time. But what if I swallowed it? I've yet to swallow a needle. I've always found it like on my lap somewhere or on the floor near me. Alright, we've got our new thread. I'm going to go ahead and start with this bit up here. Because that will, when I come all the way back round, I'll be here again. We can move on to the next flower. And through my loop. Oh, get back here, you. Anchored. Put up straight. Oh god, this been thrown so long now. The music feels like dramatic. I don't really like how this one looks. I'm just going to do this. Try and smooth it out. There we go, that's better. When in doubt, more stitches. That'll smooth everything out. That makes it look better. These some lyrics, man. I'm just here to chill.
I've never had this kind of problem with my mental health. It's even gone as far as making me consider death. I don't think I'll ever do it, but the thoughts are there. No matter how much I deny it, I know people care. Every day I try to fight it, try to hide it, try to keep it to myself so I don't pull others inside it. It's not like I run from help, but that solution's really not it. Cause I still feel like I'm always the problem with or without it. I'm caught in a
Tangle. Okay. Oh, my lighting changed. It's 9 o'clock. It used to be 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's saving us. Now I've got the purple light. I've got one of those like nanoleaf lights. So it's on like a schedule to be all different colours at different times and stuff. It's actually pretty handy. It's like nice to have a little like reminder of the time sometimes. Like it just like flicks up red and stuff, and that's like my 11 o'clock time. I think it's 11. Like, yeah, okay. I should consider bed. I should probably turn on my light. The purple light means turn on your big light. There you go, you can see stuff. Those are my cousins. Welcome. Welcome to light. It's summer now though, so like the sun stays up for so long. Like, when I was sick lately, I was going to bed really early to try and feel better. And then like a couple nights I went to bed like 9:30 kind of time, and it was just like daytime. I was like, what is this? I was like, I'm ready to sleep, I think you'll find. Get out of here, son. Fine, let's come up from there. I was like, I missed like a weird spot. I didn't know how to get in there. There we go, it's a bit better. I had pieces of hair like just moving, and I was just like, there's a spider. There's a spider on my head. That's what that is. The only thing that could be. I get that a lot. My hair's at like kind of a weird length right now. Like some of it just towards the front, and they just sort of wiggle. Of their own accord. I'm just like, I hope that's my hair. But also like when you sort of feel something for a sec and like instead of checking, because you know it's like not a millipede, but in your head you just sit there and imagine what kind of creature must be on your head right now to feel like that. And you just come up with like some sort of new horrific creature. Like yeah, that's what's on me right now. Probably that. Gigantus Mothicus, that's what's on me right now. Moths are weird. I used to get kind of creeped out by moths. I'm okay with them now. I'm not really sure what about moths in particular like kind of weirded me out, but as punishment for their crimes, I would kind of capture them and rub the dust off their wings, because they're like probably pixies, I guess. Because if you rub the dust off their wings, they can't fly anymore. They just have to walk around like everyone else. And I don't understand why the dust makes them fly if they're not fairies. So they're probably just fairies. Or pixies, or something along those lines. I spent some time researching this as a child. Of just out of curiosity, sort of touching a moth's wings, being like, huh, there's a weird dust that comes off of these. Oh, you can't fly anymore, huh, buddy? Alright. It's called for testing. I'd still probably get weirded out if there's a really big moth coming for me, though. Getting revenge and all the dust I've rubbed off of its brethrens. Hopefully that won't happen. went into the gym and had a good workout for the first time since I've been unwell for like a week or so, and it was pretty nice. I did well. I was worried I was going to have deteriorated a lot, but I can still do all the weights I'd recently moved up to. I was like, yeah. I'm not very strong. My weights aren't impressive, but one day they will be. I keep going. Gotta get that strength. Be the strongest skink you've ever seen. Skink with most abs award. That'll be mine. Eventually. Still working on that first ab, but I'm sure once I get one of them, the rest will follow. What can I do to help you? Probably stick my nail somewhere else first, so I don't unpick any of these. And bring the needle up from like here. Just hopefully smooth this bit out. Nope. Unsmoothed. Let's take a bit slightly further out then. Make it longer. Like a weird little gap that I've made that I can't quite fill out. There you go, that's better. Yeah, that looks alright, the little blue flowers. This one looks the worst, the first one I did, which just looks like a star. Look at it. Look at it, webcam. Look it out. You want the needle back? I can't see anything. Yes, that one's the worst. I think that one's my favourite. Alright, let's tie that up. Amazing, the first one's the worst. That's how it goes. Oh, didn't hit those in the same spot. One of those knots is much higher up than the other. Oh, what's happened here? There we go. That part. I finally learned how to like get my knots to come down further. What part to like grab while you're tying it to pull it down. Not just like luck based. Like it used to be. There is a technique to it. Put the bin with you. Okay. Ah! Hold my pop this off. Let's adjust that. I don't need this bottom part so much. I need the top bit more. There you go. Put that back on. Tighten that up if I can. I already had it on pretty tight. Yeah, I can't tighten that up anymore. Oh. That's fine. The first time it's popped off. Alright, let's do these dark blue lazy daisies. These ones. See if I can remember how to do the lazy daisies. Oh, I've still got like one light blue. You know what, I'm just gonna get rid of this. It's wasteful, but I've got like one more area of light blue and I've still got so much thread. Like I start off saving like every bit of thread just in case like it doesn't give that much. But it gives tons of thread. That part. And there we go. It went on forever. Into the same length-ish. Locate the needle that I've put down on an almost camouflaging surface. Oh, okay, that's only half. Good job. Proud of me. Hello! 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 Oh, I just spit. How's it going? I was very focused on trying to thread this needle. I was also thinking about why can like octopus and cuttlefish and stuff camouflage but we can't. That was a very prominent thought. I like when that happens though sometimes, when it's like a really out of nowhere thought just intrudes and you're like, I can't say it because nothing has brought this on. My brain has just gone somewhere. Now I'm like, why can't we camouflage? Why didn't we ever evolve that? That would be useful. But usually like somewhere where you're like, you can't really just air the random thought. Like in the middle of a meeting at work. Why can't we camouflage? Never ever considered. Right, gotta remember how to do the lazy daisy. So it's like I catch it at the top. Do I start at the bottom? Oh, maybe I should have done this pink part first. Oops. Well, I made my choice. Didn't have enough evolution. Points to spend on camouflaging. So you do come up and then you go back in like the same spot. And then you sort of like hold this part out. I am going to, at the back here, I'm going to sort of start pulling it through, but I'm going to grab my loop so I anchor my stitch. Go ahead and get that through there so I don't have to worry about it. It's awkward because I can't pull it through because I'm using my fingers to keep the loop on the other side. Okay. Okay, good. I can still pull it through. I got worried for a sec that I would... Oh, no. That's my... There's my loop. Well, that's okay. Is that okay? Not the most okay thing ever. Let's just pull this back out and unloop that. I pulled too far. Made a mistake. Okay. We're saved. We're saved. I mean, I think that ghillie suits are a thing. We're going to do it with wits. But it's not the same. Have you seen like an octopus do its thing? It's pretty impressive. It'd be pretty cool to be able to do. You just like blink and it's like a rock. Imagine if we could do that. People would definitely use it for evil. You don't have to like walk around with like thermal goggles. Doing A-okay, he decided on me. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Doing alright. I'm trying to work out which side is which on my thread. There we go. Chilling, chilling. I'm a little bit sad. I was sad to have no more bank holidays. Then I was looking at my holiday allowance at work and I was like, there's not very many left. I was like, just looking through my calendar like, where are the bank holidays? I'm supposed to have 3 a month. I liked that. Other than that, all good. So mixed shapes and stuff. Yeah, it's impressive stuff. Alright, let's try this again. Come up, and then we go back in nearby. I might not actually need to anchor this. It might kind of be like self-anchoring because of the way this works. So, let me get my loop. I want to pull until it's like almost all the way through. Is this gonna work like I think it will? No, I think I should still loop it. Get my stitch back in here, but this time I'll just be more gentle with it. So tangled. Manipulate the thumb. And then we pull this down until this is where we want it. Until this becomes our petal. That's what I'm trying to make happen here. But it's gone a bit twisty. So I have to be very gentle so I don't accidentally pull my loop back through. So we don't want it until it's like there somewhere. And then I have to bring my needle back up, like here. Try and get my loop back and put it on the end of this needle. Believe. Let's get it over. Is that both the loops? I think that's both of them. Okay, now I can pull this through. And then just seal it. And that kind of did not exactly what it was supposed to. But the next one, I bet, will be perfect. Now we've got it all anchored. Try again. This one has like a lot of little petal things. I wonder if I come up early, if I can sort of snag it better. I wanted to come up to here. I just sort of stick my needle up. Can I use this as like a marker? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it better. That's how you do it properly. And then get the corner of your fabric stuck. There you go. That's better. That's the second one's more like a petal. This is the same as like the pink ones down here. Come back into focus. You can do it. I know you can. You're a big strong webcam. You can look at the stitches. There you go. So yeah, it's like those ones. This is the area I'm proud of. This is the area where it looks really nice. That stem stitch came out pretty nicely. I like that bit. Needlepoint Pro. My title is certainly up for debate. That over there. Needlepoint's kind of interesting because you just sort of learn that there's like No rules. Oh no, what have I done here? Everything will go wrong. That's one thing to learn. Let's just grab that and pull it through. And it's going to look horrendous. Sure does. Yeah, there are no rules. Just put in a million stitches until it looks right. Eventually it'll look right. Or you unpick it. Nothing in between. I don't know why that last one went wrong. I had both. It's like I only had like one of the. Oops. Like I only had one of the threads, but I know I had both. But it's okay. It's the dark blue, so it doesn't show up so much on the dark blue background. You can see it's all like bubbled. Something went wrong. Something went awry. So it puts 2 stitches very close. We'll put the needle in and out very close to each other. And then have something happen here. Sort yourself out, please. What is this? What's happening? Gonna pull that one through. Let's make a tiny stitch that we don't talk about. Rather than try to use that one. So needle in and out in like the same spot. And then put the needle out where you want the petal to be, like as long as you want the petal to be. And then you put the loop over your needle and then pull it through. Use your needle as a stopper. And then make a tiny stitch to hold your petal in place. And that's how it's supposed to work. Lazy Daisy. So lazy, so easy, so daisy. Look at my face. I want to put my needle back up, like where that was all happening. Okay. Okay. Don't be afraid to get that hand in there. And when I was learning to knit, I was very confused because your hands are in there like a lot of the time, but in cartoons you always see like the old ladies just like not touching anything, but just like just using their needles to do everything. I have no idea how anyone could do that. Like when I knit it, it is mostly hands. I have no idea how I would change that. See a video, you see a video of people rolling down a hill chasing cheese, some sort of UK competition. Hilarious. I don't know anything specifically about it. I imagine that's in Somerset. That sounds like a Somerset kind of thing to do. I have also seen videos of it, and I'm aware it's a tradition somewhere, but not where I'm from. I think that's a West Country kind of deal. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Yeah, Somerset York sort of way, I think. That's where that strikes me as coming from. Cider and cheese. Don't think they're doing it in like Windsor. I don't think I live anywhere near Windsor. I don't know where Windsor is. But it sounds posh. And like a place you wouldn't roll cheese down a hill. Something's gone wrong. Can I do anything about it? Yes, I fixed it. I fixed it. I pulled it a little bit and it worked. Yay. Already don't look at the crazy stuff. You gotta love a tradition. Bizarre traditions. Being a very old country, there are a few of those. It was like we were watching the coronation of the king, and there are a few things where it's like, why do they have that? Like, that's gotta just be like a hangover from like how things used to be done. Like, it's in legislation somewhere. Now it can't be changed. Where is this bit coming from? There we go. Traditions are fun. What is it I'm making? So it's like this pattern that's like up here is printed. So I am covering it in stitches, in the same sort of picture but in stitch form. And when I am done, it will look like this, but with stitches. I think it's just like you'd just like tuck all this back and like hang it up as like a little cute floral, blooming lovely, you know, thing. But it's fun because it teaches you how to do all different stitches. So that's cool. That's what I'm doing it for. To learn all the things, all the stitches. Get out of my way. There you go. There you go. I'm getting into the pattern of the lazy daisy now. It can't be stopped. Can't have this cute. It all looks handmade. Yeah, it's pretty clever. Yeah, I don't normally make stuff with the printed patterns. I'm used to like just having like a set of instructions basically, and then just working from a blank piece of fabric. But it is pretty chill to have the pattern already on. Like, I know how far up to go on things and stuff. Like, I know roughly what it should look like already. And so it's a little hard to tell like where you've already been. It's easy to miss areas. Like, I just remembered there was a light blue flower that I missed in amongst the pink lazy daisies. There's a funny little loop that I made there somewhere. If you like look at it from like the side, you can kind of see better like which bits are already done and which bits are printed. You can see which bits are like embossed. And in the flesh, you can definitely tell the difference between the printed bits and the stitched parts. The printed ones are prettier. Less bits gone wrong. Get on the needle, sir. Sir. Stop resisting. Resistance is futile. You're gonna be on this needle, one way or the other. Even if I have to detangle you to do so. Do you still somehow avoid it? There we go. You tried, you put up a good fight. Yeah, much clearer from the side. It should probably be a good thing that you can't tell immediately what parts are stitched and not stitched. There you go, I've got the daisy part of that one. You can very much see the difference between that one and the other dark blue one next to it once it comes into focus especially. There you go. There you go, as long as I can get the good focus going. I think I'll get a new piece of thread for the next one. Tie this one off. Try and get two knots in the same place. Make one big knot. Oh, missed. There we go. Got one big knot. And then need another dark blue one. Grab my thick thread, find my little thread, grab one, pull it through. That's one of the things that baffled me when I first started doing cross stitch and stuff was that each of the like big threads, skeins, each of those have like 6 threads in, and those threads are the ones you use. I was like, what? And you can tell by looking at the back, yes. Yeah, it's quite clear what's going on if you look at the back. You can definitely see I haven't been at the top or the middle yet. And you can see the different stitch types as well, where I've tried doing things like a bit differently by what you can see on the back. It's almost complete, yes! Yes, we're getting there. We're probably about halfway through it, I guess. No, definitely more than halfway. What's wrong with me? Yeah, I think more than halfway. I kind of want to do the writing. I think it's chain stitch, and I think I like chain stitch. I think it's the same. Well, no, it's back stitch that I use on for writing on cross stitch. Can't remember what it was. I have to look at the instruction booklet again for the suggestion of which stitch to use on that part. I remember doing some writing on like a cross stitch I made for a friend when they moved house, and the writing was like really neat. Like it was neater than my handwriting. I was like, what the heck? How would I sew like neater words? I can write with a pen. I have very bad handwriting. That's not the worst handwriting. It's very legible. Like, you definitely know what the word is. It's just a little wiggly. Alright. Blue Lazy Daisy number 2. First one's the hardest. I'm trying to like just put it like pretty much all the way through initially. I've just got the back to loop. And back in. Push it down a little bit to get the loop around it. Make sure it's anchored. Okay, we shouldn't have any issues. Other than just the amount of thread there is here. And the fact that there's a knot here. I mean, that's going to be an issue. Why is there a knot there? Alright, let's come back. Untangle. Oh, I see. Yeah, something's happened. This is only one thread. Okay, how can I free my needle? There we go. Just pull this all through. Right, what happened here? What's going on there? That's where the issues are. Ah, it's stuck on my needle. Okay, well, I'll just cut that bit off. That's fine. That's a fine place for that not to be. Near the end. I'm getting further through Mojo King B, Hollow. I'm getting further. I've been practicing off camera so I can come back and be great at the game. So you don't have to watch Mojo King B 1,000 more times. And I last night I made some pretty good progress. Still haven't beaten him. But progress. Getting better. I'm playing more stuff on my PlayStation lately, so I feel like my hands is getting more used to the controller. Okay. Alright, my thread should be fixed. I need to keep on playing, I'm playing Devil May Cry 5. I need to keep on playing it. Because I've also been very distracted by playing Final Fantasy XIV on PlayStation. Which I had no idea how they would make an MMO on a controller. But it's like really good. Like it feels great. Okay, there we go, there's my anchor. And let's pop this through like here. Oh. Heck yeah. Hey, I started this one off right. I read that. Oh jeez, already went too hard with the hardcore mode. It is pretty hardcore. It is. Yeah, they made it easier on PSP, apparently. That's what I've read. I can understand why they might have wanted to make that a little bit easier. But where's the challenge? Mojo King Bean's been such a sticking point. I'm hoping that once I get past him, like, like I'll zoom through the rest. Like, there's just something about the pattern that's weird for me or something. But unfortunately, I think I made it to the last time he attacks before the final. But unfortunately, that part is another really difficult phase, like when he goes into the tree. Very, it's like similar pattern even. I was just like, what? I got this far, please. Have mercy. I'm getting better. By the time I come back, I will be a pro. Guitar Man will come back as long as I need to still beat all of Masters Mode one level after the other in one session. That's the goal. Reading that B's the first big wall, second afterwards, but you have no idea which boss they were referring to. Probably Sambone Trio. The thing, it goes pretty easy after Mojo King B. Like the next few stages, like then the next stage is like tricky, but it's really short, and the next one is really chill. And then the really short level, the level with loads of long notes. That's not too hard. It's really slow. Really chill level. And then Sambone Trio, which I was like suddenly incredibly difficult again. I think Sambone Trio is like considered the hardest level in Guitar Man. And that's level 7. Then Gregorio is pretty hard too. Level 8. But then I think it gets kind of easier again. 9 and 10. 9 and 10? Is that how many levels there are? Are there 10 levels? No, I think I counted it before and it was like a different number. Maybe there are 10. Campus, Flying O, B, Benkei, Kira, Sambone, Gregorio, Kira, Zoe. Yeah, there's only 10 levels. I thought there were like 13 for some reason. I kept saying there were 13. I keep pulling this towards myself to see it closer. I even got markers on my desk to remind me where the camera can see. I've got like ornaments scattered around and like the edges of the vision. Because I'm so bad like pulling things away and towards my face. And it turns out apparently like everything I do about 3 inches from my eyes. But don't worry, one of the objects I used to mark my vision cone. Oops. It came right for you. 3D. One of the objects I used to mark my vision cone is it's the jellyfish for scale. Never fear. Jellyfish for scale is still here. There you go. Jellyfish for scale. The jellyfish is for people who don't know the size of a PS2 game. So they can't use that for scale. Which is the other like most grabbable thing. It's back. It never left. These are really, there's a lot of like little petals along this on like the picture. Get to focus so you can see which part I've done, which part I haven't. I rubbed my headphones against my microphone. There. There's like so many petals on this side. I don't think I'm really going to do that many. I think I'm probably just going to cover up a bunch of them with like one. These are like thicker. Yeah, let's go like in the middle of 2 and just like kind of reduce these. I don't think I can keep that super true to the picture. Ah! I unthreaded my needle. I have a de-threading injury. There we go. Saved. I know it's gross, but degloving injuries are my favourite kind of injury. Something about them. They're very cool. I make reference to them probably more than most. In joke form. An interesting one. And is very easy to make jokes about. There you go, yeah, I'm just sort of making my own shape for this, the other half of this flower. Oh, can't find the needle. It was like exactly in like a shadow, so I just couldn't see it. That was weird. I need to do the middles of these with pink afterwards. And I should do that blue flower before I forget it. In amongst the pinks and the oranges. Doot doot doot. Doot 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 doot. Haven't done my own doots in ages. Poor little saxophone just sits there unused. It's hard to find time. I want to play video games. And I have most of my free time at night, and I can't play a saxophone at night. My neighbours would cry. No one would appreciate that. Play Mega Strikers. And that Warhammer Rugby game. I haven't actually played Mega Strikers in a little bit. I do really like that game though. There's been a sec since I played that. They've done like, they added some new characters and stuff. So I need to play more of it. It's just hard to find the time. There's so many games. And Rugby Warhammer, American Football Warhammer. I've played like a couple more games. But I had one game I was really proud of. I was like super the underdog and managed to win. I was so proud of myself. Yeah, I played like a couple more games, but I'm waiting for season 1 to start, which does start on the 22nd of June. So that might actually make it back onto my schedule to play some more of. Because I'm looking forward to season 1. So everyone gets the battle pass for free for the first season, and the new faction for free. And the new faction is what I hoped. It's lizard men. I'm gonna get to have skinks. I'm gonna have Warhammer skinks, and it's gonna be great. I don't care how they play. I'm gonna work it out, and I'm gonna be a skink coach. So of course I'm gonna play a whole bunch of that. Season 1 games like some new something. Yeah. So it came out. People argue it shouldn't have come out when it did. Because they delayed season 1 a little bit. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty new. People say that it should like sort of re-release really with season 1. But I don't know what they're planning. There's a lot of like bugs and stuff. It's almost like the pre-season 1 games, like almost like a beta. The Blood Bowl's like a whole weird thing where like a lot of people still play Blood Bowl 2 because there's like leagues and stuff in that, but hopefully when the seasons start in Blood Bowl 3, more people will move across to do like the more competitive playing and stuff. But it's gonna be a while until like, they move all the factions over and things. Ah, itchy face. There. Yeah, you see what people would like to release it. Yeah, they're still doing like a lot of like bug fixes. Like they did like an update that was like just bug fixes, and yeah, still like a lot of issues people are reporting. I mean, we saw like some of the weirdness, a little bit of wonkiness. Yeah, it could have done with like maybe openly being in like a beta prior to season 1 or something like that, instead of just being like, buy the game. I mean, I was having fun with it, so I'm not going to complain. But I am looking forward to the proper season starting. There's also like the weird thing of like, so you couldn't have any like cheerleaders or different boards or different dice, even though in the campaign mode you could see that they existed in the game. There were other cheerleaders that the like NPC coaches had. So they're in the game, but you weren't allowed them yet because they'd be part of like the battle pass. That was my Windows sound. Because it'd be like part of the battle pass, but the battle pass wasn't out yet. So there was just like cosmetics in the game that you just couldn't have access to, which was really weird. And they had an issue with like their store as well, where you could purchase cosmetics with money, but you would have to buy, like you'd get like a shoulder pad for your lineman, but you'd have one shoulder pad for one lineman. So you'd have to buy like a whole set for all your if you want all your linemen in it, in a certain outfit or a certain armor, you'd have to buy it X number of times for how many linemen. Like 8 times you had 8 linemen. Because each person could equip. They fixed that since. They made it so if you own it, you can equip it on all, like, you only need one and you can put it on all your linemen now. Apart from like legendary stuff, but you know, the cosmetics are going to obviously work on more in the future for the battle passes. But that was quite a funny thing to hear, that they were charging it like that, and people were like, I don't like this. I don't like that you're doing this, and they were like, yeah, okay, we agree. That wasn't our best move. Take the pink for the middles. We've changed it. Hey, better pass some kind of premium shop. Yeah, there already is a premium shop. Yeah. At least they listened. Yes. Yeah, they do seem to be listening, I think. So I was watching a lot of another a content creator who's like a big Blood Bowl player, Andy Davo. He was like on the main like Blood Bowl 3 screen for like tutorial videos essentially and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll go check that out. And he was great. He's been playing Blood Bowl 2 until the season 3 comes out, but so I'm looking forward to season 1 starting, so that he'll start playing it as well again, like watch the videos again. Because I don't understand Blood Bowl 2. But yeah, I think he is in some way maybe associated or communicating with the team that makes the game. I think he makes references to like things that are coming and stuff like that, and yeah, so they definitely if they have communication with like, you know, YouTubers and stuff, like that's a good sign, I think, because then you can get to like, because he said he had like a whole list of things that he wants them to fix, and it's like when will all this stuff be fixed? And like, well, okay, some of that we're already on, but okay, this stuff maybe not so much. So hopefully it'll be good. A lot of people, I think, are worried that it was just kind of going to flop, and that'd be kind of awkward, I guess, for the like very competitive scene. Like, which do you play, 2 or 3? But hopefully 3 will be great, and everyone will move over, and then there'll be lots of people playing it, and I won't get matched against people who have really high TV scores against my team that I've just started. But I don't know how the leagues work or anything like that, or like the season, like competitive season stuff. So I'll be interested to see how that all happens. Like do you start a new team and then like build it up through the season? Like I don't know how it works, but it's gonna be lizards. That's all I know for certain. I tried playing with Skaven, which is like the rat people, and I quite like that. So it's scary being like an agility class instead of a strength class, because fighting is scary and your people just sort of get killed. But at the same time, if I like hand it to the right person, I could just run far enough and dodge past all their people and then just go score. And that was pretty good. That felt good. I had a few moments of just like, well, I'll just hope I rolled more than 2 and just evade like 5 people's grasp and just go put this in the goal, thanks. So that, yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, agility and strength. Yeah, I think teams are mostly divvied up into like agility and strength. You know, other stuff they can do as well. Like foul. Fouling is apparently very strong. Yeah, I'm interested to see how the lizards play. I watched the trailer video and I couldn't quite tell. Like, they were fighting in the video and they were running, so I don't know if it's going to be like a kind of a balance thing or if they're going to be more incredible one thing. I don't know how they play in like older Blood Bowl. I think I've heard that they're like sneaky. It's like they do a lot of fouling and stuff, but I don't know if that's how they're going to be. I don't know. But the trailer video is really cool. I recommend it if you want to watch something short. Watch the Blood Bowl 3 Season 1 trailer. It shows you the lizardman. And it was yeah, it's a fun video. I liked it. There we go, we've got the pink middles in there now. I have loads of thread, so I'm just going to cut this one, even though there's still a lot of it left. And I'm going to fill in that blue flower that was forgotten about, and then that should bring us up to time. Check it out. No harm in that. What if there is harm, Hollow? What if you just don't know it yet? If you have a budding fear of lizards and this is going to tip you over this scale. You never know. Until it's too late. Good job on the blue petals. You like them? Yay. Yeah, some parts definitely look better than others, but it is going together pretty well. This part is still my favourite. Yeah, it's going together. Just want to pick up this blue flower down here. This light blue one is still just the printed part. I have forgotten about it at some point. I would have gone wrong on this French knot. I need to fill that in before it gets completely forgotten about forever. That is the only problem with the printed one. It's easy to overlook a bit. Because if you miss it, there's still a picture. There's nothing missing. It's just 2D. Ah. I attacked the camera. Read anything before bedtime these days? Less so. My poor Necronomicon got kind of put to the side. My on again, off again relationship with the Necronomicon. But I've been reading the boys' comics. I've been lent them by a friend, and I'm really enjoying them. Poor Necronomicon. I know, right? It doesn't deserve it. I enjoy my time with it, but it's pretty intense. Yeah, we're reading the boys' comics. And yeah, so I've watched like one episode of the TV show just to see what it's like, and from my knowledge, it's very, very different from the comics. From like talking to a friend who has watched them, and it seems like it's a very different story. And I think I prefer the comic version from what I've heard. Comics are really good. Very graphic in places. Some quite fantastic imagery at times. There are some real pictures that could like stick in your head. No, Lovecraft. The voice really hardcore to yeah. Yeah, there are some bits. Like every so often you turn to a page and it's like, huh. Oof, okay. That's what happened to you. But they on like volume 7. I'm pretty far through now, I think. I think like, is it 12 or 13 volumes or something? Yeah, I think I've got 11 to read. I'm on 7 now, so I'm getting close to the end. And I've talked to my friend all about it because I'm really liking it, and I haven't got a chance to talk to him yet about it. But probably better if I finish it, because then I can't be spoiled. I think my friend was pretty happy to have the comics out of his house for a bit, because he has a reasonably new child, and he does not the comics were on the bottom shelf. He did not appreciate the child having a little read of them. Maybe imagery a bit too intense for a very young child. So I think he does not mind them being out of the house for a bit. But very good. Highly recommended if you're into that kind of thing. If graphic depictions of all kinds of violence doesn't bother you, highly recommended. So I'm just gonna like try and basically I want to hide this loop from the gone wrong French knot. So I'm just gonna like basically put some stitching through it and see if I can like hide this loop. I feel that was like a sounds sticky. Kids are sticky. That's kind of in general. Not a fan. Also, you don't think about it until, like, you have a kid coming around, and then you're like, oh god, there's so many corners in this house. There's so many corners. Like, I'm not gonna be responsible for whatever happens. Two of us, then. In agreement. The kid isn't sure about the lizard. I thought she'd be excited to meet a skink. She didn't care. She didn't much care for it. She seemed interested at times, and then if the prospect of the lizard getting closer to her happened, not interested. Lizard far away, okay. I was talking to someone a while ago about getting my skink, and they're very amused by part of it that they hadn't considered before, which is that there are specific reptile couriers, because reptiles have to be kept at particular temperatures and stuff to stay healthy in transit. You have to have certain conditions, and sometimes like they're coming from somewhere and it's going to take like a couple days for them to like travel down. Yeah, I mentioned this reptile courier, and she was just like, "What? I didn't even consider that they would have needs. You need like a specialist to look after them for." And I was like, yeah, I guess if you weren't into reptiles and stuff, you probably wouldn't consider that you can't just send it like Royal Mail. Can't just poke some holes in a box and post it off. I have lots of exotic animals. Yeah, I think so. And I guess it also helps with like insurance. make sure it gets to you okay. They usually have like some sort of like veterinary training, I guess, to make sure it gets to you well. Because some of those lizards are expensive. Hey, my skink wasn't cheap. But like I've seen in like a lizard shop they had a baby monitor lizard, alligator monitor lizard, which I really wanted. I'm watching him grow up. He's got a lot bigger now. He's got a really long face. But he's like $8,000, so they can be expensive. They can be very expensive. They can also be very big, I suppose. I can imagine ordering a monitor lizard from somewhere. Like how big they can get. And I guess like if you have big snakes and stuff. I like snakes. I like particularly snakes with I've seen ball pythons with this particular pattern that I really like, and I think it's called piebald. And it's where the snake is like white, but it has like kind of like holes in the whiteness, where it's like the more generic sort of like snake skin pattern like underneath, and I think that looks so cool. I really like those. I also have seen some other colorations of skinks, of blue tongue skinks. And so I think on Reddit there was like a breeder of them, I guess, and they were like showing off their array of coloured skinks. And that was really cool. They had like a white one, a black one, and like then just like sort of more normal patterned ones, but the black one and the white one were really cool. And I saw there was one Tom posted up that had really unusual colouring, where it was almost like a piebald skink, where it just kind of looked like a normal skink, like a normal northern skink. I think it was northern, it might have been Indonesian, I can't remember. But the patterns were like pretty normal, and then it, like just like the tip of its like nose and mouth were just white. It was like it had a little beak, and that was really cool. I really liked that. Whatever was going on with that one, I was a fan of. There we go. We've made that middle look a lot better, I think, on this blue one. It had like that loop, and now I've hidden it. Now it just looks like a middle. Yay. So today we've done these blue flowers, not the middles, all the rest. We've done these blue flowers. And we've done this blue flower. We've done all blue flowers today. And the pink middles, not just blue. Let's tie it off, and that'll be our sewing for the day, our crafts for the day. If I could stream full time, I would really like to probably like start like the daily stream with like a coffee and crafts segment where like people are encouraged to do crafts alongside and like send them to me, whatever they've made, so then we can have a look at what everyone's making. That's a very chill way to like start the day. That'd be cool. It's always fun to say about, like, if I could stream all day, what would I do? And the answer is I'd become a TV station. Apparently, I'd become like a a little TV show with segments. Productive stream. Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of productive time. I do love my video games, but it's probably good to not look at a screen for a little bit, or not look as much at a screen. I'm still looking at my streaming software. I do like doing the crafts. I do like having something like done. Like spending some time on something and having something at the end of it. It's definitely nice. The red box. Coffee and crafts. Neat title. Yeah, that's what I'd call it. There's probably exists somewhere, but they probably are chill enough to not come for me if they're called coffee and crafts. I'm sure they'd encourage more people using the name. There you go. There's a little picture. That's an idea in a drawing of what it would look like. There you go. Some more pictures on the back. It shouldn't be a surprise. This is what we've been looking at. Not a toy. Has sharp stuff in it. I bought a cool thing. Let me show you. As a side note, it just arrived today and I'm quite excited about it. Which is this little keyboard for my PlayStation. Look at that. Little keyboard. It like slots into the PlayStation controller, so like the analog sticks are here and the two like hand bits are there. Got a little headphone jack that it plugs into the controller with. So it's like, I can grab my controller as well. I don't just have to describe it. Goodbye, charger. Because I've been playing so much Final Fantasy 14, I was like, you know what? I got a load of money, I'm going to buy this little controller thing. So I'm not very good at getting it to click in. I need like more training. There we go. That's pretty good. So it feels like a little bit loose. I'm sure just like over time it'll like click in better, or I'll get better at clicking it in. There you go, it's like that. So if you want to like search for something, you just right, you're playing Final Fantasy 14, you want to talk in the chat. It's Bluetooth. So Bluetooth to the PlayStation. But yeah, you can just clip it into your. So you wouldn't have to clip it into the controller, I guess. You could have it like separate. But yeah, little Bluetooth keyboard. I thought that was pretty cool, and it should have a green backlight. Yeah, the fit's like a tiny bit loose, but I think I won't actually notice it in practice while I'm like playing stuff. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Because I heard about like you can get like, just get a mouse and a keyboard for your PlayStation. You can do like extra stuff. And I was like, I don't know, I don't really want like a mouse. Like I want to use the controller, but it'd be nice to have a keyboard for some things that I don't like on-screen keyboards. Yeah, then I found like these existed. I was like, yeah, there you go. My searches are much easier now. So I haven't got a chance to use it properly yet, but it's pretty cool. I like that it exists. Apparently there used to be these for like the Xbox and stuff as well back in the day, but I didn't have one. But yeah, it's quite cool that it just headphone jacks in, Bluetooth, convenient fit. I thought that was very cool. Unfortunately, when I play an MMO, I do hope to not have to talk, because I'm scared of people. But now talking is an option. Stretch. Yeah. Alright, stretched. Yeah, using that little keyboard will help me out. Even if it's one search like the store. Much easier. Much easier than on-screen keyboard. Alright, that's gonna be me for tonight. I need to put my desk back and chill for bed. But it's Wednesday tomorrow. Still so much week left. Bring back the bank holidays. Next stream will be Thursday, same time as this one, 8 PM BST. And I'm going to be playing more Darkest Dungeon 2 on my computer. It's just sort of on fire next to me. And then on Saturday, 2 PM BST, more Duelists of the Roses. Happy streams are always nice. Good, I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I like to I got really worried for a second then because I was looking at something and it wasn't showing me the window I was expecting, but it's fine, it's showing me my hands, so it's all good. Yes, I'm glad you like these streams because it's handy for me to have some more time to put into my crafts. So I'm glad it's enjoyed. I worry people will just be like, oh, it's a bit boring. Well, hopefully it's chill. Alright, and I hope to see you on Thursday for some Darkest Dungeon. I'm going to make it Thursday. You know, Darkest Dungeon Tuesday. Check the VOD for show. What's the delay on my VODs at the minute? It might be 2 weeks now that it takes to make it to YouTube. But I mean, you can check the VOD on Twitch if you want to see it before then. Even easier. Alright. Well, I hope I'll see you on Saturday then, Harlow. for some Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been looking at the fusions. Online. I got a better idea of how to do them. I've got a pretty good list to hand, so hopefully it'll be less of a disaster when I fight my... Yes. Alright, good night everyone, have a great rest of your night, and see you guys soon. Bye-bye everyone! Good night! Oh, hang on, 3 waves! Yay! Good night! Bye-bye, bye-bye! Good night!